There's a myth that's cost American car buyers an estimated $4.2 billion over the last 5 years. It's the myth that you get the best deal at the end of the month. That if you walk onto a lot on the 30th or 31st, the salesman is desperate, the manager is begging, the numbers go soft, and you steal the car. That belief is not an accident. It was planted. I spent 15 years inside this industry. I stood at the auction lane. I sat in the F&I office. I watched managers build the end-of-month narrative on purpose, because a buyer who thinks he's got leverage on the 31st is a buyer who stops shopping on the 15th. He stops comparing. He shows up at 7 p.m. on a Tuesday, convinced he's holding all the cards. He's holding nothing. I'm going to show you the 3 days of the year dealers actually give real discounts, not the pretend ones, the ones where the desk manager is bleeding and will take a deal he would have spit on 2 weeks earlier. And I'm going to show you the exact data you can pull up on your phone, free, to know when a specific dealership is hurting before you ever walk in. The national used car market moved roughly 39 million vehicles last year, according to Cox Automotive. Average gross profit per used vehicle retail sale sits around $2,100 before F&I products. Add the finance and insurance back end, and that number climbs past $3,900 on an average deal. That's the money on the table every single time a car changes hands. The end-of-month myth protects that money. Because if you believe the 31st is special, you negotiate like an amateur on every other day of the month, and the industry has 30 other days to work you at full margin. So let's talk about what actually moves a number on a dealer lot. There are 3 pressure cycles that force real discounts, not monthly, quarterly, annual, and aging. These are the cycles the public doesn't know about because the industry benefits from you not knowing. The first pressure cycle is end of quarter, not end of month, end of quarter. Manufacturers set volume bonuses that pay out to dealers in tiered structures, and the big money sits at the quarter boundaries. March 31st, June 30th, September 30th, December 31st. A dealer who is 8 units short of his quarterly volume target on March 29th is not looking at gross profit on those last 8 units. He's looking at a bonus check that might be $80,000, $150,000. Sometimes more, depending on his franchise and his tier. That bonus dwarfs the gross he'd make on the individual cars, so he will sell those last 8 units at or below invoice to hit the number. This applies to new car franchises, but it bleeds into the used side too, because most franchise dealers run both operations under one roof and one set of financial targets. When the new side is chasing a stair-step bonus, the used manager gets pressured to move inventory faster to free up floor plan and free up cash. The second pressure cycle is end of year, December. Specifically, the last week of December, 2 forces collide in that week. Quarterly bonuses are closing out, and dealers are staring at property tax assessments on inventory that will be calculated based on what's sitting on the lot on January 1st. Every unsold vehicle is about to cost them a tax bill. In states like Texas, Virginia, and parts of Missouri, dealer inventory is subject to tangible personal property tax. A dealer with 200 unsold cars sitting on his lot on December 31st is looking at thousands of dollars in tax liability he could have avoided by moving those units a week earlier. December 26th through December 31st is the single softest week of the year for used vehicle pricing at franchise dealers. It's not close. The third pressure cycle, and this is the one nobody talks about, is aging inventory, specifically day 60 and day 90. Every used vehicle on a dealer's lot has an invisible clock on it. That clock starts the day the car was purchased, either at auction or on trade. Most dealers operate on what's called a 60-day turn policy. If a unit hasn't sold by day 60, it goes on a watch list. By day 90, it's flagged for wholesale disposal, which means it gets sent back to auction at a loss because the dealer is paying interest on that car every single day it sits. That interest is called floor plan. Most dealers finance their inventory through lenders like Alley, NextGear or Westlake Flooring. Floor plan interest runs roughly $8 to $15 per vehicle per day, depending on rates and terms. A $20,000 used car sitting unsold for 90 days has cost the dealer somewhere between $720 and $1,350 in pure interest, plus the tax, insurance and depreciation riding on it. A 90-day unit is a wound. The dealer wants it gone. He'll take a deal on that specific car that he would never take on a fresh 15-day unit parked 3 spaces away. And here's the thing the industry doesn't want you to know. You can see exactly how long any used vehicle has been on a specific dealer's lot, for free, on your phone, right now. The tool is called Market Check. Go to marketcheck.com or download the Market Check app. It aggregates used vehicle listings across the country and tracks a metric called days on market. You can pull up any specific VIN or dealer and see how long each vehicle has been listed. A car showing 78 days on market at a dealership is wounded. A car showing 12 days on market is full margin. There's a second tool that works alongside it. CarGurus. Not for buying, for intelligence. CarGurus scores every used listing as great deal, good deal, fair deal, high-priced or overpriced, based on their algorithm comparing the listing price against market averages. A vehicle marked overpriced that has 90-plus days on market at a franchise dealer is a negotiation you can win by thousands. The dealer already knows the car is stale. He's waiting for someone to make him an offer before he sends it to auction and takes a bigger loss. Cross-reference Market Check days on market with CarGurus pricing analysis. That combination is free. It takes about 90 seconds per vehicle, and it tells you exactly which cars on a lot the dealer wants gone. Now let me give you the actual tactical playbook. Tool number 1 is Market Check. Use it before you ever visit a lot. Search the exact year, make and model you want within your driving range. Sort by days on market, longest first. The vehicles at the top of that list are the ones where the dealer has the most pain. Note the specific stock numbers or VINs. Those are your targets. Tool number 2 is CarGurus. Cross-reference those same vehicles. You want a car that is both aged past 60 days and flagged at or above fair market. That's a car where the dealer is losing money daily and the asking price still has room to come down. Write down the CarGurus estimated fair market value. That's your anchor. Tool number 3 is the dealer's own floor plan math. You don't need access to their books. You can calculate it yourself. Take the asking price, multiply by 0.04% per day, multiply by days on market. That's a rough estimate of the interest they've already burned on that car. A $25,000 unit at 75 days on market has burned roughly $750 in floor plan interest alone. Add property tax accrual, insurance, and the reconditioning costs they already sank in, and you understand why they'll take $2,500 off a car that's been sitting for 75 days, when they won't take $300 off a car that landed last week. Tool number 4 is timing the visit. Combine the aged inventory data with the calendar. If you can find a 75-day-old unit at a franchise dealership and you can visit between December the 27th and December 31st, or in the last 3 business days of any calendar quarter, you are stacking every pressure cycle that exists in this industry on top of each other. That's the day the desk manager gives a number no one else in the state is getting. Everything I just walked you through, plus the exact scripts I used as an insider to know when a dealer would break on a specific unit, is compiled in the Dealer Vault. It's the full field manual, link in the description if you want it, or take what I just gave you and run with it on your own. Either way works. Let's keep going. Tool number 5 is the end of quarter phone call technique. 3 days before quarter close, March 28th, June 27th, September 27th, December 28th, call the used car manager directly. Don't talk to a sales consultant. Ask for the used car manager by title. When he picks up, say exactly this. I'm a cash buyer. I've been tracking stock number such and such for 40 days. I can close today. What's the best number you can do? That sentence does 4 things at once. It identifies you as a serious buyer, not a shopper. It shows you have intelligence on his aging inventory. It removes financing complications from his mental math. And it puts him on the clock. He's got 72 hours to hit his number. You just handed him a unit to move. More often than you'd expect, he'll come back with a figure that is 8 to 15% below the asking price on the window, because he wants the count more than he wants that particular car's gross. There's one more thing you need to understand about how this works. The end-of-month myth is protected by the industry's advertising cycle. You see end-of-month savings event ads every 30 days because the cadence itself trains you. The ads are not there to save you money. They're there to condition you to believe the window is closing, so you act impulsively, so you show up without research, so you sign without comparison. The savings in those ads are usually manufacturer rebates that are available every day of the month, just repackaged with urgency language on the 28th. Real discounts don't get advertised. They happen in the manager's office, on a specific car, on a specific day, when a specific set of pressures lines up. You can't see them in the newspaper insert. You see them in the data. The next time you walk onto a dealer lot, you'll know more about the specific cars sitting there than the salesman does. You'll know which ones are 80 days old. You'll know which ones CarGurus has flagged as priced above market. You'll know the week of the year. You'll know which pressure cycles are active. And you'll know exactly which question to ask to get to the one person in the building who has authority to cut a real number. The salesman will hand you off to the manager faster than usual. He'll sense you're not a normal buyer. The manager will run numbers that he'd never run for someone who walked in cold on the 31st chasing a myth. Because the game has flipped. You're no longer the mark. You're the informed buyer who did the work, and that changes every single negotiation that follows. Not just this one, this is what the industry spent decades making sure you wouldn't figure out. The end-of-month narrative isn't a small lie. It's the centerpiece of how retail automotive protects its margins from an informed public. Every person who still believes it is subsidizing the people who don't. If this video helped you, the most useful thing you can do is send it to one person who is car shopping right now. Not to support me. To put a crack in the wall the industry built around this knowledge. Every person who learns this is one less easy sale next quarter. That's how this moves. Subscribe if you want to stay armed. The next video on this channel is breaking down the 3 F&I products the finance office pushes that have a real cost to the dealer of under $50 and get sold to buyers for $3,000 to $4,000. I was the guy who watched those products get loaded into deals. I know exactly how they're pitched and exactly how to refuse them without losing the car. Everything shared here is general consumer information. Always have a qualified mechanic perform a full pre-purchase inspection before buying any used vehicle.